It's YoBo. Welcome back to day 270 of life according to YoBo. YoBo is teaching you how to live a life with no mess, no stress, and no BS. We are, well, somehow the Maddie Canton Bowie series has evolved into a Relationship 101 series, but it's all good because some things we just have not been taught. Go to my website, sillywomen.info. For about, let me see, from 2007 to 2011, a team of us toured the country, and all we did was teach women about relationships. You may say, well, why do you call it silly women? Pause this, because that's the scripture from the Bible. That's what the Bible calls them. You don't believe me? Just Google silly women, King James Version. Pull up the scripture and read it for yourself. Some translations say foolish women, gullible women, unwise women, but it's talking about women being hoodwinked and bamboozled right there in the Bible. I ain't making this up. Right there in the Bible. And our conference was Silly Women, the conference. So somehow I have segued from Maddie Canton Bowie into the Silly Women Conference. And I'm going to get there too. And I'm going to show you how it is all connected. When we ended the day 269 message, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, when we ended the day 269 message, YoBo was telling you, baby, you got to sit still. Whoo, don't move. Take a moment to think back on the stupidest thing you've ever done, the thing that you were most embarrassed about, the thing you sure don't want to tell nobody. Now, sometimes we got secrets that we keep, and we look back on it, we think, shoot, I sure would do that all over again if I had the chance to. Hey, I sure would do it all over again. I know I was wrong, but hey. But then there's other times when we say, I shouldn't answer that call. I should have blocked that number. I should have listened to my mama. I should have listened to my sister. I should have listened to his ex-wife. Or as my cousin was saying on her tape, my cousin Candace was saying, that Joel Osteen said, I should have just been still. Just be still. You need to be where you are when your blessing comes. When whatever it is comes. And you need to be still. Get in a place where you are still. Instead of running, looking for something, run and do something. Like I told you yesterday, take a finger painting class. Take an online class. Do something that's going to better yourself. Do something that's going to enhance your life. Do something that's going to make yourself better. Be a candy striper. Remember back in the day when we had candy stripers, we wore the red and white uniforms and we volunteered at the hospital. Well, I was in high school and I was volunteering at the burn unit at Rancho Los Amigos Hospital. Do something that's going to better somebody's life. You need to be where you need to be. And sometimes that is sitting still. Joel Osteen added, if you had not been through it, you would not know how strong you are. Whoo, Lordy, thank you. Thank you. You see how high I can raise my hand now? Look. Look. Ooh, I'm almost there. Ooh. Think about the worst thing you've been through. And you still here. Some of y'all had some bad childhoods. Somebody need to be in jail for what they did to you. Some things, we protect children from molestation and from abuse, but there's some other things that go on in household that kids ought not be subjected to. Some of y'all went through that. Look at you. You still here. And unless you told somebody what you've been through, a person would never know. You wouldn't know how strong you are had we not been through some of that stuff. So, Joel Osteen says, stay right there until God tells you to move. Woo! He talking to me too. Woo! I felt that. Stay right there. My sister had said, y'all heard me say this 50 times, but I'm using this as an example. Our life would have been different if only mama had married somebody else. Let's go back to my grandmother's life. Our lives would have been different if she just would have sat still. But she didn't do that. She was already engaged. She was engaged to a man named J. Hugh McMichael. This man was from the upper crust of the Geneva, Texas community. Their family produced nothing but teachers. Still in this family, still teachers. His father was James McMichael. And I just met James McMichael's half-brother descendants. All of them, teachers, doctors, lawyers, professionals, 150 years later. Teachers back in that day, that's the equivalent of producing lawyers, a family with all lawyers. His mother was Jane Barrett. That Barrett, no. J. Hugh McMichael. Yes, his mother was Jane Barrett, that's right. The Barrett and the McMichael families. Two upper crust families. Now, my grandmother is engaged to a man whose mama and daddy are the hoity-toity peoples. But you know what the problem was? She wants to steal. Let me tell you something about the man she was engaged to. His mama and daddy were college educated. Former slaves and college educated. They're in the 1880 census. Look for them. Marshall, Texas census. And there they are in college. J. Hugh McMichael was supposed to be my grandfather. I was supposed to have great-grandparents who were former slaves and college educated. Can you imagine telling somebody that story? I met some of J. Hugh McMichael's great nieces, and I was telling them about their family's history. And I could see the pride they took. They said, to be college educated in those days and former slaves, wow, I never knew about our family's history. I never knew that. So as they're taking pride in it, I sure wish I could say that about my family, but I can't because my grandmother didn't want to sit still. Some little slick talker came through the community. Oh, let YoBo back right on up here. Hold on. Let me go back up to yesterday's message. YoBo said we move too fast. We don't ask questions. We get impatient. We don't learn from our silly mistakes, and we don't want to listen when somebody tells us not to do it. Well, my grandmother eloped because she knew her mama would have told her, don't do it. That's just what we do. We don't want to sit still. The problem is we want what we want. And most of the time, ladies, the thing we want, hate to be the one to tell you, it doesn't exist in the real world. Well, that's life according to YoBo, whether you like it or not, honey. This is going to help somebody. May not be for everybody, but somebody is going to learn from this, even if it's too late for you. You can look back on it. You can say, YoBo, I got it now. I'm going to tell you one thing I say about myself. I might have been a young fool, but doggone it, I ain't going to be no old fool. Come back tomorrow for day 271 of life, according to YoBo. Bye-bye.